Nikola Jokic has a secret weapon that no other NBA player has. About to win his third straight MVP, how does this guy dominate the league? For so long, the league has been run by athletic freaks and world-class three-point shooters. But Jokic is neither of those, and has changed what it means to be an NBA star. This is the incredible story of Nikola Jokic. Jokic had two older brothers who played basketball, and that's how he got into the sport. But he was overweight, weighing over 300 pounds early in his career. One coach even called Jokic obese, and Jokic himself even said, "I can't do one push-up." Jokic had this horrible diet where he drank 2 liters of Coke for breakfast along with half a pound of borek, a European pastry. By the end of the day, he'd finish a whole gallon of Coke. Forget basketball, how is Jokic even alive? The Nuggets obviously knew that Jokic had to change his ways, but they still took a gamble on him, drafting him 41st overall in the 2014 draft. When Jokic was drafted, in complete Joker fashion, he was sleeping when his name got called. And it didn't even matter because the NBA accidentally aired a Taco Bell commercial while the Nuggets announced their 41st pick. Nobody thought anything special would come from Nikola Jokic. He would just be a role player at best. Even though Jokic got drafted in 2014, he didn't join the team until a whole year later. This is because he wasn't even sure if he wanted to play in the NBA. He was considering staying in Europe. But Jokic finally decided to give the NBA a shot. He was overweight, not athletic, and not nearly as talented as the other rookies. But there's one quote that will take us to the turning point of this story. After the draft, when his brother Strahinja was asked about Jokic, this is what he said. "He's not that talented, but he hates to lose." This was Jokic's secret weapon. He hated losing. And even though all the odds were against him physically, he was obsessed with finding a way to win. First, Jokic was determined to lose weight. And before his NBA debut, he lost 35 pounds, showing the Nuggets and the rest of the NBA that he was serious about becoming a good player. In his first season, Jokic got playing time right away, which surprised him because he thought he would be on the bench for the first year. In his first month, he already had a game scoring 23 points and 12 rebounds. That was the moment that gave Nuggets fans hope that Jokic could be a piece of their future. He continued to start games for the Nuggets and even made the NBA All-Rookie First Team. Jokic showed flashes of potential with his creative passes and playmaking ability, but averaging only 10 points per game as a rookie, he was still far away from being a star. In the 2017 season, Jokic finally started to break out. He was up to 17 points per game and 10 rebounds per game. But there was a problem. The Nuggets had 2 starting centers, Nikola Jokic and Jusuf Nurkic. They were taking each other's minutes, and Nurkic was getting frustrated because he thought he should be a starting center. Nurkic was quoted saying this, "I believe you can develop guards together, but 2 centers? No way." So Nurkic wanted the Nuggets to make a decision. Make him the full-time starter or trade him. And this is the first time we see the Nuggets really believe in Jokic because they traded Jusuf Nurkic. This made Jokic the full-time starter and ready to bloom as a star. And that's exactly what happened. Jokic had a breakout second season, having 6 triple-doubles and finishing 3rd in the most improved player voting. But Jokic was still criticized for the way he looked. He didn't look muscular like your normal superstar center, and this is how Jokic replied. "I believe the only muscles you need in basketball are the ones in your brain." You could argue that that's not true, but with what Nikola Jokic is about to do in this video, he might have been right. Because now comes the game. the game that completely changed Nikola Jokic's career forever. On February 18th, 2018, Nikola Jokic had the fastest triple-double in NBA history. He got it in 14 minutes. He shattered the record, which was 17 minutes. And he didn't do this just to any team. He did this against Giannis and the Bucks. Jokic finished the game with 30 points, 15 rebounds, and 17 assists. Not to mention a huge win over the Bucks on the road. Those 17 assists gave the Nuggets an idea. Jokic could play center point guard. The center point guard has never really worked out in the NBA. Ben Simmons tried it, but he was undersized and wasn't enough of a scoring threat to make it work. But Jokic was the perfect fit. He's what they call a triple threat. He could shoot, pass, or take a dribble to the rim, all at an extremely high level. So even though he was a true center in size and weight, the Nuggets started running the offense through Nikola Jokic as a center point guard, meaning he got the ball every play and his pass would start the offense. And it worked incredibly. That same 2018 season, Nikola Jokic made his first All-Star team, averaging 19 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists. No center in the league was averaging 6 assists like Jokic. And this is just the beginning, because the numbers he's about to put up, the NBA was simply not ready for. Because now comes 2020, the year that made Nikola Jokic a true superstar. It was the bubble season during COVID. And why was COVID so important? Because in the extra 8 months of off-season that Jokic had, he lost even more weight, another 25 pounds. And now we enter the MVP era of Nikola Jokic. In the 2020 bubble, Jokic's numbers skyrocketed. 26 points per game, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists. But something else happened during that offseason. Jokic learned to shoot the three-pointer. All his career, he was a 30% three-point shooter, which is terrible. But in the bubble season, he shot 39%. That's a Steph Curry level percentage. All of this led to the Nuggets getting the 3rd seed in the Western Conference, and Jokic completely shocking the NBA by winning MVP. But it must have been a fluke, right? It was a short season, anything can happen. Now with a normal offseason coming up, everybody thought Jokic would gain his weight back and go back to just being a good player. But the exact opposite happened. Nikola Jokic entered the 2021 season with a six-pack. He had abs. This guy had abs. And he was on a mission to prove that his MVP season was not a fluke. And guess what happened? Nikola Jokic managed to have an even better season than his MVP season. Take a breath. He averaged 27 points, 14 rebounds, and 8 assists. Not only was no center doing this, but nobody was doing this. He even had his first 50-point game. What in the world? In a time where we have prime Giannis, prime Steph, prime Luka Doncic, Jokic beat all of them out and won a second MVP in a row. But this time, the Nuggets only got the 6th seed. Their team got injured a lot that season. But Jokic wasn't the type to make excuses. Like his brother said, he hates losing. So Jokic was determined to find a way to win. And that takes us to this season, the 2023 season. And what is Jokic doing? He is not only having the best season of his career, but one of the most impressive seasons in NBA history. Nikola Jokic is literally averaging a triple-double. And remember how he was determined to start winning? The Nuggets are the 1st seed in the Western Conference. He is simply breaking the way basketball is played, because there's not one player that can play Jokic's style. If you double team him, he'll pass to the open guy. If you put someone big on him, his moves are so fast he'll beat them. If you put someone small on him, he'll overpower them. Giannis has tried. Joel Embiid has tried. The best coaches and the best players have tried to make game plans to stop Jokic. But he has figured out how to beat every type of defense, and the proof is he's having the highest field goal percentage of his career. At the age of 27, Jokic is just entering his prime. If he continues this improvement, we're gonna see stat lines that the NBA has never seen in its history. And the craziest thing is there's no signs of him slowing down. We have never had a more talented league in NBA history. But it's the one guy who wasn't born with talent that is winning games and MVPs. It's the guy without muscles and without speed. It's the guy who, instead of pure talent, simply hates to lose and has become the hardest worker in the NBA. It's Nikola Jokic, the player everyone in the NBA should fear.